So we're entering Salvatore Garden.
And it's May,
Early May.
early May. To the right side, we have a bed near the chickens. We have this lavender that's been here for about 3 years.
And it's the only thing that survived in that bed due to the chickens making a lot of dust. We used to have tomatoes, we used to have other vegetables, but they didn't last.
Which is why it's empty. Here we have tulips, and the tulips, these are from last year, but these are gonna go out because we have plans for this side of the garden.
Those are our chickens. They're named after the Golden Girls.
And Lucy and Ethel. And again, they're the reason why this bed is empty, because we couldn't grow anything in it. This is rock soapwort. I planted this with a Christmas tree that we had,
and it wasn't doing well.
The tree didn't survive the summer.
But it wasn't doing well, and the moment that the tree was removed, it died. It got nicer.
On this side, we have another bed. It's kind of chaotic because it has winter crops and summer crops. This I need to fix. But in this bed, we have lettuce, and the lettuce around this time started burning because it got too hot. This is borage, a flower that I had planted 2 years ago, but it's self-seeded, and I just kind of let it do its thing. Bunch of onions. And in here we planted a bunch of tomatoes that needed more space.
Well, I mean, we're gonna remove the winter crops, so then once we remove everything, then the tomatoes are gonna be fine.
Yeah.
This is the romaine lettuce, which we're not gonna purchase in the future. Was
because the taste, it was
bitter.
Yeah. Oh, and the other bed, more tulips and almost the same thing. This is cabbage. Cabbage. We have
celery. Tomato. We planted tomato. Sunflowers just growing everywhere.
And those I have to take out.
We also planted carrots. The only thing is that the carrots bunched up. They were already purchased
from the nursery.
Yeah. So they grow bunched up rather than if you plant the seeds, then they grow on their own, which is better.
Yeah, so we're not doing that again. This cabbage, which I thought was cauliflower.
It was delicious.
It's good.
This is broccoli.
No, this was cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
Yeah.
Didn't do well.
Yeah, so we just let it bolt. A lot of these plants, we left them in, even though we planted summer crops in between. We let them in because, one, we didn't have too much time to take them out. We're constantly busy. And also when they bolt, they have these flowers that are good for the bees and ladybugs and stuff.
This is our raspberry in weeds. The weeds need to be taken out. But we've had them for 2.5 years. And this is the first year.
They're giving us flowers.
It's giving us flowers, so hopefully we're getting raspberries this year.
It just has to be cleaned up. Again, I was going to remove that and put it in a maceta, in a pot, but I haven't had the time.
Yeah. There's the other bed, more romaine lettuce, and that needs to go.
Yeah.
And we're going to give it to the chickens so that way we have like a little mini compost and they can entertain themselves.
Yeah. In between here, we put cucumbers.
So we have Japanese and
Persian.
More
sunflowers that need to come out of the garden beds.
Those sunflowers came from last year's sunflowers.
Yeah.
So
they spread. Once you put them in your garden, you will find them growing all the time.
Yeah.
This is celery. And the celery is also starting to bolt a little slowly.
Because of the temperature.
Yeah.
There's another bed. This one, we let the romaine lettuce there just because it's gonna bloom, and that way we attract more bees. This year we've been having a lot of bees, which is very nice. And this is our grape. This is the second year that's giving us grapes, really sweet. This one's purple. This one's
red, I think.
Red too. So we planted a mix so that way it can grab onto the fence and it gives some shade to the beds.
It's more sunflowers that I'm letting these grow.
And the strawberries, we made 2 rows of strawberries, and this is the year that it's been. Last year was good, but this year it just got
A lot more.
A lot more. We gotta pick them every other day just because there's so many.
Yeah.
We've also given some to my niece, my comadre, to come pick some. So she came and picked some with our goddaughter, and that was nice to be able to share
Strawberries.
our crops. Yeah. And then we also had planted cilantro, and the cilantro is blooming. But it's really nice to see how tall it gets. Got what, 3 feet tall?
It's like about 3
And it attracts a lot of
bees and
bees butterflies,
Oh yeah.
which is nice.
This is our blackberry.
Blackberry. This is the second year, but this year it's doing really, really good. So we're hoping that it's super sweet. Last year we only had like maybe a handful, and they were not
Bitter.
sweet. They were bitter.
Our other blackberry, this one is not doing as well, but we know it's alive because it's still finding up. So this we won't get fruits from.
Not this year.
These are sweet peas, and last year our sweet peas were a lot taller, but I think
Around this time.
I think because the winter was kind of longer this year, it took a while for everything to pick up. But they smell amazing, like perfume, and I will always grow these because they're so nice.
So this was early May. It has changed since then. It's constantly evolving.
Always.
And then we extended the beds outside and planted more. Gives us more room to be able to expand. So we have jalapenos. We also planted chile serranos.
A few peppers, only because we don't eat too much chile.
And then we planted corn
Yeah.
from seed. And then we also got some corn that was already from the nursery. And then we have zucchini that we planted. We do eat a lot of zucchini. This is another grape. This one, I think it's a combination of purple or black and green. So it's a hybrid.
I have no idea. But it has to be moved.
It has to be moved, yes.
A little walk to the other side of the yard, and we have two other new beds that we built.
And then in these beds, we have flowers. We have
We have a lot of flowers.
cantaloupe.
Lavender, French lavender, because they're beautiful and they do well here. But we also have marigolds and tomatillos.
We have green tomatillos, and then we have purple tomatillos.
Yeah, but they need to be trellised because they're growing sideways.
Because of the high winds, we get
Yeah.
very high winds in Antelope Valley.
This is cantaloupe. Yeah. On the other side we have watermelon. But on the other side of the yard we have this arch.
And this arch is given to us from a friend of our friends that got married. So shout out to Judy and Eno.
These are blueberries. And this is the first year that we're actually getting blueberries, because every other year that we've tried.
It's too hot.
And these are boysenberries.
Boysenberries.
Shout out to Fresno.
And then this is our citrus. So we just got that one. This was one of Sebastian's cousin gave that to us, and that's our lemon and lime.
Yeah.
Those survive due to putting them against the wall during the winter time. That's what it used to look like when we were remodeling the back.
We removed the lawn and added clover.
And that brought in a lot of birds, a lot of bees and butterflies, hummingbirds.
Yeah, ladybugs. Again, this garden is the beginning of May. A lot has changed, and we'll do an update soon.